wrote in, said, I have been trying to reach out to you everywhere. The FBI is hiding footage. The doorbell cam footage had more. This is what the person told us. She said the shooter is then seen changing his clothes. What they have told us about Lance Twiggs. Obviously, we're going to go over this indictment. This kind of came up in the umpteenth hour. I'm going to tell you my honest opinion on it. There's more going on here. Very clearly, there's more going on here. So you can join us here at the link.
It's been weeks, but this Charlie Kirk situation keeps getting wilder and wilder. And now Candace Owens is adding yet another plot by accusing the government of covering up certain details in Charlie Kirk's murder. And she's not just talking about keeping minor details about the investigation private. She's exposing a full-blown conspiracy. According to her, everything we've been told about this case has been a lie, down to the guy who allegedly pulled the trigger. The catch? The FBI is also involved. And not only do they know the real killer, they're allegedly hiding him. If this turns out to be true, it could shift everything we thought we knew about this case for the worst. And now people are wondering, what does Candace really know? And if someone is hiding the truth, who stands to benefit from Charlie Kirk's death? So Candace set the internet into a frenzy when she dropped a bombshell on her IG stories. She started by hinting that something terrible might happen if she doesn't let the world know what was really going on behind the scenes. She wrote, I want to break this news immediately because it feels important, and I think if I didn't break it immediately, something bad might happen. I hope I have earned the trust enough of the people to believe me when I say that I have verified this information but cannot reveal the source. Then she dropped the bombshell. Tyler Robinson is not suicidal. Not just that, but he might actually be innocent. According to Candace, the entire narrative about Tyler Robinson being suicidal in the media is completely fictional, as are many other aspects of what we have been told. This was already enough to put people on edge. But what she said next completely changed the tone from conspiracy to something much darker. Candace revealed that the whole thing about Tyler Robinson's father having turned him in after a confession is also a complete fiction. To the contrary, Tyler Robinson maintains his innocence and has never even been to the UVU campus. There are absolutely zero photos or videos that the campus can produce to the contrary, which is why they have produced nothing other than a blurry image which Tyler's family knows is not him. Oh, but Candace didn't stop there. Just in case anyone missed it when she first said it, she doubled down on the fact that Tyler Robinson wasn't trying to end his own life. Rather, the government made that story up to justify pinning Charlie Kirk's murder on him and hide the real killer. She wrote, Tyler has never once expressed a suicidal thought. I want to make that clear. The federal government is lying about absolutely everything other than the fact that it is gun. Candace's story struck a nerve because she said the one thing so many people had been thinking in the back of their minds but couldn't say out loud. And you'll know Candace. She might joke about certain things, but she means business. She means business. So when she pointed the finger directly at the government and accused them of covering up for the real killer, it didn't take long for people to start connecting the dots. Twitter flooded with theories, and every gossip blog that reposted Candace's IG stories got millions of views. People left comments like, girl, we been new. Kirk was toast after he said them. Epstein files need to be released. This is a sloppy inside job like everything inside. The blurry images were a dead giveaway because this is 2025, not 2001. They're going to take her out next because she knows they're lying about everything. What made this really mind-blowing for a lot of people was the fact that Candace had been saying this from day one. She always thought there was something off about Charlie's death, and that's not even counting the fact that he was attacked in broad daylight. The first thing she wasn't comfortable with was how convenient the whole thing seemed, and that's the part that never added up. Police reports show that the shooter had insider-level knowledge. He knew exactly when Charlie would speak, the layout of the tent, and even the exit he was supposed to use. And that's not something you just guess. That's information that's fed to you by an insider. And then there's the fact that the shooter fired with almost scary accuracy. Most people have seen the video, horrific, tragic, but in all that chaos, the one thing that was clear was that there was never a moment's hesitation from the killer's end. And that's how you know it wasn't just some random guy with an agenda. It was someone who had time to plan. Someone so skilled that all it took to bring Charlie down was that one shot. And someone who was likely paid enough to not get caught. When the dust finally settled and the police launched their official investigation, Candace was on top of it. And even in those early days, she knew that someone someone was covering up some details about the murder. Now, Candace had her suspicions, but she wasn't quite sure yet. It wasn't until police released Tyler Robinson's official indictment that she finally knew for sure that the government was involved in the cover-up. For those who haven't seen it, the indictment listed 7 charges, including aggravated murder. If he's convicted, he could be facing the death penalty. And according to court records, the prosecution is aggressively pursuing that death penalty. Now, that would be good news for people who want to see Charlie's killer pay for his crimes, especially Candace Owens. However, she wasn't exactly jumping for joy. In fact, she made it clear that she didn't trust anything the government was putting out regarding the case, especially not the indictment. She wrote on her Instagram stories, "The indictment against the person who murdered Charlie has just been released, and this very much feels to me that we are getting part of the story but not the full thing." That post immediately went viral, with screenshots flying around the internet. Some even placed that screenshot side by side with all the other shady things that have come out of this case. The grainy Tyler Robinson photo, the supposed manifesto bullets, the random details about his personal life. It was obvious that they were trying to paint a picture of Tyler Robinson as someone whose personal beliefs led him to take an innocent life. And while that has been the case many times, in this particular instance, the plot was see-through. And that's why, when Candace finally went live to attack the government directly, it didn't come as a shock to anyone. Now here's where everything went from suspicious to terrifying. Candace didn't just post messages on her IG story this time. She went all out. During an IG live session, she named names, called out the government, and demanded to know why the FBI was hiding certain things about the murder.
Okay, so we're receiving so much information. We have the exclusive for you on the mysterious trans boyfriend's family, what they have told us about Lance Twiggs. Obviously, we're going to go over this indictment. This kind of came up in the umpteenth hour. I'm going to tell you my honest opinion on it. There's more going on here. Very clearly, there's more going on here. So you can join us here at the link.
That live session changed everything. Whatever people thought was wrong with the investigation, Candace just put it into words, and there was no turning back from there. But the one question that kept popping up in their minds was, if Tyler Robinson didn't do it, then who did? Also, if the government is hiding something, then who is giving out the orders? Who stands to gain from all this? Now, let's be real. Charlie Kirk had a lot of enemies. He had strong political beliefs that didn't always go down well with certain crowds, and that already put a target on his back, figuratively speaking. Because in the grand scheme of things, his politics or beliefs weren't enough reason for someone to take him out, unless someone else or a group of people have a lot to benefit from it, and that's where his wife comes in. Politics or not, whenever a person is unalived, their significant others are always the prime suspects, at least initially. And this is one of the things that made Candace believe there was foul play involved, because not once was Erica Kirk, Charlie's wife, ever looked at as a suspect, even though, as far as the general public is concerned, she seems to be milking his death for what it's worth. At no time did she ever post anything about her husband to show that she was truly grieving the man she loved, married, and had 2 kids with. What she did post, though, was a series of empty manifesto-like statements about how she would continue his mission and the world would feel her rage.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. That young man. That young man. On the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Nobody can tell a widow how to grieve, but fans did find it suspicious that she seemed to be more focused on the grift than the fact that her husband and the father of his kids just lost his life tragically. And that's when people started noticing the pattern. Erica's sudden presence in front of cameras, taking photos with politicians, giving speeches and moving like a celebrity. Nobody wanted to say it out loud, but the whispers were there. Could Erica have been involved with the government's plan to cover up her husband's murder? Is that why she's not asking the right questions, demanding justice for Charlie? While people were still trying to piece that part together, Candace was already way ahead of the curve. Through her own sources, she was able to uncover the fact that there was someone else in the CCTV footage from the day of the shooting. The catch? This person was a woman. And what was even worse was that the little detail was conveniently left out of every official report about the case. Candace hopped on IG and dropped this little shocker. We received a strong tip that a woman was caught on video with Charlie's shooter, but the FBI had declined to share that information or footage with the public. Today, we can confirm that a woman was caught in forage with the alleged shooter. We will have the exclusive on how we were able to verify that information. If this turns out to be true, then it might be the proof Candace needs to crack this case wide open.
We had received a lead live on the show. Someone paid money to inform us that there was footage that the FBI was hiding, right? She wrote in, said, I have been trying to reach out to you everywhere. The FBI is hiding footage. The doorbell cam footage had more. This is what the person told us. She said the shooter is then seen changing his clothes and he is with a woman, she told me. And then she gives me a name, and that name was another Lyman family member, and that's when my spidey senses started tingling. I'm like, okay, this is a lot of Lymans now.
However, people are wondering if Candace is even safe right now, because she's no longer just a grieving friend. She's all that stands between the government carrying out its propaganda and Charlie Kirk getting justice. But now, you'll let us know what you think about all this. Do you think Candace is grasping at straws, or is she onto something? Drop a comment down below and then check out this next video.